EA and BioWare have been getting absolutely wrecked by the internet since the release of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. It truly was one of the biggest disappointments of the year, and the internet is not going to let them live that down anytime soon. But now the Kingdom Come Deliverance developer has humiliated this company and their game. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a game a lot of people love, and the sequel actually just got moved up by a couple of weeks for its release date, so things are going swimmingly for them. But now Daniel Vara, the developer of Deliverance and the sequel, humiliated BioWare and Electronic Arts and their Dragon Age: The Veilguard game. This was such a disappointing situation in totality because Dragon Age is such a behemoth franchise that so many people love, and for all intents and purposes, Veilguard should have sold extremely well, even though they didn't understand the franchise. They still could have tried their best to market this towards tons of different people, towards nostalgic fans, but this is what happens when you ultimately choose a new audience over your old one, and you are making content for this fictional audience, but clearly not a lot of people showed up to purchase your title, and you get what you freaking deserve. When you're creating bad content, you do not deserve sales, and Veilguard has not really sold that well, according to insiders, and of course, reports take them all with a grain of salt, but apparently it's only sold 2 million copies throughout all of the platforms over the past couple of weeks, which really isn't that good. So Vara posted on X a comparison of the Steam metrics between Kingdom Come Deliverance and Dragon Age: The Veilguard. So, Kingdom Come Deliverance's all-time peak was at release with 96,000 players, and Veilguard's was last month at 89,418. So those numbers are not significantly different. But if you look at players right now, there was 4,635 in Veilguard and 7,615 in Deliverance, which is absolutely hilarious to me because Veilguard did only just come out a month ago. You would think that it would have significantly more players in game. There would be tons of people still giving it a shot because you can have like a very long experience, over 100 hours worth of content allegedly. I definitely could not stick around for that long. I skated through the main story and that was enough for me, but I do also understand that Deliverance 2 comes out in just a couple of weeks, really. And so a lot of people are preparing, a lot of people are getting ready, they're restarting their playthroughs so that they're up to date on the story. And, well, Deliverance's number almost doubles Veilguard's. And yes, it is also important to point out that Kingdom Come Deliverance, because it's almost 7 years old, it has gone on sale a lot of times. A lot of people have purchased it for only a couple of dollars, and on Steam, Veilguard has not gone on sale yet. But again, you would think a game that came out a month ago, a AAA title in a massive franchise that came out a month ago, would be doing significantly better than a game from 7 years ago. It just goes to show that people are willing to go through their backlog and play older games over newer ones because gamers are sick and tired of modern audience slop. Veilguard all around was an extremely bad game. The environments and the atmosphere was completely off. The character development and the story writing in totality was god awful, and you had awful character designs like Concord level. It did not feel like a Dragon Age experience, and if it wasn't a Dragon Age game, maybe it would have done slightly better just because there wouldn't have been so much backlash, because ultimately it wouldn't have captured the audience of a nostalgic market, but because you decided to crap on the legacy of this franchise and push older fans away, those people pushed back. And well, I do think that all of the backlash did hurt Veilguard, but I don't think that it killed the game. I just don't think that this game really had an audience from the get-go. And of note, Deliverance is currently on sale for 80% off from December 4th to December 18th. So it's not like it's still a full price game by any means, but it again just shows that people are not really buying new games. Now, Vavra's comments come after his studio, Warhorse Studios, announced that it would actually release Deliverance a week early on February 4th. February is going to be a very stacked month for video games, and I understand why they moved it forward a week, because on February 14th we have Valentine's Day, obviously, but Assassin's Creed Shadows, and then on the 18th we have Avowed. So those two games are already going to be in competition with one another, and by pushing the release date forward a week, yes, as developers you are losing time, but at this point, if you're ready to ship it, you should already feel confident in its state, and you probably do really not need that week. And also, when was the last time we saw a video game release pushed up? That's pretty crazy because it just doesn't happen anymore. Usually we see delays after delays after delays, but gamers are pointing and laughing at Veilguard with him. I had posted just a laughing emoji, and people are saying, wow, it's already down to 4K. Oof, yeah, that is terrible. And it is a single player game, so people play it, people leave it, but it's not like it had crazy numbers in the first place. I cannot wait for Deliverance 2 to crush Veilguard and Avowed's highest player numbers combined. Let's see how the Wokeguard is doing right now. Yep, that sounds about right. This is them right now, and they have gone into several interviews over the past couple of weeks, and they are coping and seething over the fact that their game isn't doing particularly amazing. It's not even really doing good, it's doing terribly, but they went into interviews talking about how proud they were to create this game, and also how it was positively received by critics, which is absolutely absurd. The critics are not the reason you have a job. The critics are not the reason you are successful. The critics do not buy your games. It is because of gamers that you have a job. It is because of gamers that you might sell copies of your title. Therefore, you should not be making content that pleases other activists within the industry. You need to be creating content that appeals to fans of the franchise and gamers all around. Every type of person should be able to find some level of enjoyment within your experience, and that is not what happened with this title. We saw self-inserts, we saw cringeworthy dialogue, characters that simply existed to basically be walking billboards for certain mental illnesses. This character creator was filled to the brim with identity politics, as is a lot of the game, and when you have modern day terminology like transgender, non-binary, you have top surgery scar toggles, you have pronoun pickers, that's not going to sit well with a lot of people, average people, normal people, and well, your game got absolutely wrecked for the million bad decisions that you made surrounding this title. So I do think that when Deliverance 2 releases in just a couple of weeks, it is going to be a very big game. I think a lot of people are going to play it. I think a lot of people are going to be talking about it. And to be honest, I think that it was a very good decision for them to move up the release date, because again, in the middle of the month, we are going to see Avowed and Assassin's Creed Shadows fighting for players, and I still think that they're going to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows one more time, but that has not been confirmed yet. Though, at the end of the day, Daniel Vavra has absolutely roasted BioWare, and people are now pointing and laughing at EA and Veilguard. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.